And don't use really dry walnut. It chips and little pieces you can call them. And from what I read, the best thing is wood that's a little bit wet. You don't mind if it warps a little because it's all right. So, but it'll cut cleaner and it takes less pressure to cut. Because obviously when you're got this thing flying around out there, the way this is done, you can end up losing it. You have to be careful of the speed also. So, first stop's a little different way to do it. There's you also talk about inside out turning. So here's inside out turning. Now, quite often you have people come in and talk about start building something or making something, and it got smaller and smaller, smaller. This is the opposite. It started out to be small, had a fairly long piece in it. I was making pin with a valentine in it.
Thank you.
And I found out turning a valentine is very difficult because when you come around, you got little points there. And there's 8 of them. You knock off one of them, and you're done. So it keeps getting bigger, bigger. And I also knocked a piece off this end. So the thing just kept getting bigger. It doesn't look like a valentine anymore. I look at it and I say, oh, that looks like a carrot.
That is. Who wants to demonstrate that? You want to demonstrate
inside out turning?
Yeah.
The problem with inside out turning is you got to glue it up. And so you can't do it in one sitting unless you make up one to show half of it and then another one to show the rest of it.
Okay.
But however you going to do it.
Tell us.
All right, we're online right now too, so we're live on the internet. So watch your language, Gary.
Great viewer. I made this too. It was a challenge. Butternut, and I scooped it out with carving tools. I turned the handle and the outside on the lathe, and when I was turning, it quit turning and it broke down inside. And it started again, and I looked and it stopped again. So it looks like it was drilled out, but just broke down there and it burned a little bit where it was wrong.
That's a little fun.
I didn't know. This is a river birch burl. And it's got a little epoxy. First time I used any epoxy, and it worked all right. I seen a guy on YouTube, and he said he put duct tape around it. And then he put it on the workbench. So he goes back the next day, and it leaked out, ran across his workbench, and screwed up. So, hey, this is not the same thing. I put black in there, and it looked black, but afterwards, you got to stir it like heck, I think. The black don't show through, but you can almost see through that. So this one here is the same deal. Little tight. These are butternut. I brought one last time. This one I got the things in it and everything. I had to order longer ones because these are too tall. And this is the butternut also.
Tim, where do you get your butternut?
Same place as last time. I traded the guy a piece of oak for a piece of butternut. And I had 3 pieces. It was just a half of like a little one. I got 3 of these out of it, and one of these cut off for the. Oh, pretty good. I should have one for you. You got that's the one you can do that.
You guys in the front, you got me. Sorry. So I'm going to say differ. This is the second version. The first version didn't come out like I couldn't bring it. So this one came out pretty good. I have no idea what the wood is. I'd be curious if anybody knows what it is.
Tree wood, you know.
It's tree. It's like tree wood. Then I made it. It's kind of long, but it's not bad. Out of fine. It's a long place. Cool. Thank you.
Sure. Sure, reasons of that favor. I was going to explain how to make this, but I guess I'm going to show you. Yeah. Next month, right? Some reason I thought we all put Flatland Woodturners, so this is. And it's still got it's turquoise, you roll turquoise. I made one, got a picture of it, it was taller and then put it on the internet, and the guy bought it in 2 hours. But I didn't get to bring that. That's also like Southwest. And then, like I said, I'll have a video thing like that. Right. So, I used to be able to eat this. And so turn mine in. Sam, what kind of one is? So for the challenge, I made a noodle cutter. My wife doesn't like it. She likes noodles thick, so she said that it's not deep enough. And
Does that mean it's for sale?
you can have it if you want. I made this one out. I'm make another one. I'd make it out of hard maple. I think that would be a better choice than that.
Roll it on her patch, and besides like it.
And then she's want me to do it again, and I'm not going to do it. Some. These are 4 of them are ours, my wife and I. Then 16 of them are John Breitner's, and he made them. Was going to bring them in March because that's for the president's challenge. He decided that he'd rather have it being used than sitting at his house. So we took 20 week stands to Peoria. Since the last meeting, we took 20 week stands to Mattoon, Charleston since the last meeting. And either Thursday or Friday, we're going to take 42 of them at the park. So it's I've got, we've got like 4 cabins home now that going to take all of them to one place. So we're taking John 16, then we're going 26 of them to John's because the place we take them to, they have 14 different locations they serve. So that's where they're going. And last month, John received an email from a lady that seen the wig stand and wanted one. So he forwarded it to me and I contacted her. She got pancreatic cancer. She's in Galesburg, so I made her a wig stand and I sent that up to her. So the people do like them, they're appreciated. It just lets people know that there are people thinking out there about them and people that care. So I encourage everybody. There'll be some business. And just a reminder, we still got the stuff up here for blanks and all that, so.
I made about 30 of these for gifts at Christmas. And I went to get some to bring and I got them out of the flower bin and my partner said, "You gave away all the good ones." I didn't know the things. In any case, this is a really simple thing. You just take a blank and I use a Forester bit with the extender on it to cut it out. And then I had blanks. I had about since I had about 30 of them, I had blanks that I cut to put in at the end of it to turn it thin, and then just cut it on the jigsaw. So literally, you can make these in about 30 minutes. That's if you're a forester bit sharp. So there's also just put in turning wood scoops, and there's got to be 40 websites of different ways to do it, etc.
Go check.
So, hi, I'm Brad. First of all, it was great to be coming in here this evening and still had daylight.
Yeah.
I've got crocuses blooming all along the south side of my house as the spring's on its way. But Valentine's Day just passed, so I did get these done in time for my wife. She did like it. Supposed to. Turned all these plain except for the blue ones. I did those with the whole night and green piece of maple limb. The shipper shade. Oh, for the President's Challenge. Made a squirrel some time ago.
A very common wall.
Yeah, right. It's got a phoenix feather in it.
That's it.
This one here, I brought in not so much because I thought it was so pretty. But if you've been turning them anytime at all, sure. So this was a piece of plum from my dad's orchard that he had planted. And I hated to waste it. So I took some casting resin and poured it at the bottom of it. I knew I wouldn't be able to take a tenon off of it with it being that thin. I didn't realize it would be that thin. Of course, it was too late. So I poured some casting resin in it and made it solid. As long as I take that up to it, doesn't like that. This one here, I brought this in because I wanted to show you that this is 2 coats of half-pound cut de-wax shellac. And then I left it with some shapes. But that's about 20 minutes. 2 pounds to finish on something. Need to put a finish on something quickly.
How durable.
For as long as you don't put alcohol in it. You don't want to put alcohol in it, it'll dissolve like but yeah, it's fairly durable. I had sanded it the wood, folk wood.
Down on the ground.
I think this is part of the edge of that. It's got something wrong with it. I think it's buckeye. Okay. But I'm looking for things. Anyway. So mine. That's a Scott.
I'm Chris. I'm from Champaign. I've been fairly busy. I've been practicing doing little hollow things. So this one, I think I got pretty good. The bottom's a little thick, but I also got lucky because it's a pretty piece of wood. And so walnut crotch wood. Then this is another bowl from the walnut I got from the Wachowskis. And so again, beautiful wood. I did not do much here other than turn it. So another bowl, and then I've been experimenting. So this is something that I tried with the CNC, and so you can see through the bottom of it. It's not quite as clear as I wish, but for the camera as well. So
can you describe how you did that with the CNC?
So I got a piece of it was rough cut, like 3-inch log from my guy who runs the shop I turn at, and then I put on CNC and CNC the pattern out of the solid piece. Then I poured the epoxy and let it sit. So then I mounted it here at the faceplate and turned the bowl from it. I did put a glue block on the bottom that I sanded away. I only had so much depth and wanted to keep all of it. So turned out pretty well. I'll definitely be retrying this with friends. This one I wouldn't be worried about dropping.
It turned out I like it. Another.
This one's where I've been spending the time recently. But so this is open segmented out of walnut. And so it actually does open. And so you have 194 pieces, I think, including top and bottom. And so this took some time, but I haven't decided if I wanted to glue it closed, because I could. And then I also don't know how to finish it or how I want to put finish on it. So I'd be open to if anybody has recommendations on how to put finish
The ones I do, I use high gloss spray line.
on. Okay.
It gets down in the groove.
He's got third place in the state too.
I will ask a dumb question. Does that come out of a can, like a spray can, or
Right there.
That's rad.
yeah. So
What's third place with it?
my probably best piece that I've turned recently or ever. So yeah, that's what I've got. And arguably you can use a bowl in the kitchen. So
Next month we got a demo on finial, so you can make a finial for the top. And
I sort of like that you can lift the lid that way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's not a great way to lift it. I guess if finial would do that too, but so yeah, that's all.
so it was third place, wasn't it, Terry?
What's that?
Third place for that one you made?
First.
First? Oh, it was first. Okay. I thought you had like a couple of paintings that beat you out on it.
Well, I've got it 4 times. I got the first.
Okay.
But then I called them this year. And I said, I haven't had my application for the art show. They said, well, there's a new fair manager, and she decided that we don't need professional art competition. They have for 50 years.
It sounds like a fair manager is not going to be at the fair.
No, she's not real. Not real pop. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's Coach Jones Champagne. So first thing I got here is a bowl. This was out of some spalted maple that I won here in one of the raffles, and it has a round bottom intentionally. So a lot of the things that I end up doing are like almost functional, and so this kind of falls into that category of a bowl that walls. So I get a kick out of them. Almost functional. I always get a kick out of them. So it's kind of fun. I carved the top of this to just kind of match the kind of wavy feel. So that's that. And then for this month, I got a scoop here. And this is a scoop that the guy that I learned how to turn from in Galesburg does a bunch of these. And he can whip them out really well. And so it's different than the ones that we've seen where you turn it on the lathe, between centers, make a spear at the top like this, and then you put it on. He's got a couple like PVC pipe jigs, and then you have it on the lathe and hollow out that. So I had done this one. I think I started it a few years ago. It had some cracks, and so filled it with some aluminum powder. And then at his shop, he had just another he's like when he makes them, if it's that piece, he'll toss it, or if he knocks the handle off or something, it tosses it. So he had like a top of one of these, just a spear that was pretty nice, just sitting in the trash, and so I snagged that. But it had some tear out pieces, so I just kind of carved into it just some like patterns. So I don't know, it's nifty. It feels good in your hand, so feel free to pick it up, feel it. And then kind of similar, at least look to that. I saw some of these, like streptohedrons or femispheres, depending on who you ask. And you can roll them, and they wobble and they roll, so you can play with that. And the way that you do it is you turn it. Oh, there you go. So you turn it so that you've got a profile like that that's symmetrical. and then you cut it in half, and then you twist it. For this one, you twist it 90 degrees, so that way the sides meet up. So it's basically a plus sign cross section, cut it in half, and then rotate it 90 degrees to make this. And so my thought was, well, if you've got a plus sign cross section, you could do any kind of number of cross sections just as long as it's symmetrical. And so I did another one of these. This has like 3, so one up, one diagonal, so 3, and it rolls kind of funnily where it like rolls forward, curves, and then does just like that kind of pattern. So kind of nifty. And then I just yesterday did another one that has like 4, so like a plus sign and then another plus sign. So you got like 4 plus sign or 2 plus signs. That one's not glued up, but you can see that you can rotate it depending on what orientation. If you rotate it 1, then you've got like a path that follows the entire piece. And then if you rotate it 2, you have 2 different paths that kind of match up to baseball seam paths. So it's kind of neat, kind of fun to think about. And I thought that I was being real clever with like the symmetry. And then I looked online, and David Springett is like, it's so many of these. And so we got one of his books over there. So I'm borrowing it for this month to see all of the other cool things that he can do. So
I was going to say to you, if you're a member of AAW, you get the American Woodturners,
yeah,
and a previous article in this magazine told how to make them.
gotcha. Yeah, they're really neat. They're fun and easy, and so yeah, they're fun. So look up David Springett and just look up.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. No, they're fun. They're fun. Yep. So that's all I got for this
Trying to
month.
show the camera, but I'm standing in the way.
What wrong with it?
So this one is like harder. You can see there, there's a little bit. But
Wants to go.
I thought
That would drive a 2-year-old nuts.
yeah, with that one, it's got like right angles, so it doesn't roll too far because you have to like, if you roll it too fast, it just rolls like a ball. But if you roll, you've got to get it fast enough that it'll make the curve and then back around. So you don't get too much. You get like 3 wobbles at the farthest on that. Yeah, so cool. It's over.
Well, thank you, Isaac. It hadn't occurred to me to make a noodle roller, so for Valentine's Day, I made a hollow shirt. But next year, I know what. Yeah, this is swap. Lessons when I did my own. And yeah, I got involved in on the inside. See there, but it got thinner than I anticipated. And then the other thing about this is a bowl based on Corey taught a class for us at here at the show, and so this was sort of a version of what I thought.
Steve Smith here in Champaign. So this was kitchen utensils. A lot of my kitchen utensils that I made sold at the last show, so I have a lot left. So I have this coffee scoop, which there was some big leaf maple out of the perfect wood exchange a year or so ago. And so it was, pack up to the flat rate box, ship it to somebody else, and they ship you a piece of wood. So this is what I got out of that one. I've got a little bit of that one left, but it's been some fun wood to work with. Couple of little wine metal stoppers. I think this is one of my favorites. It's a little barrel. So cherry and maple barrel. And then to keep them all, logwood. No idea what it is. Got some resin pockets and with a natural resin pocket is in there, so it was maybe some sort of cedar or something goofy. I'm not quite sure, but utensil holder to keep everything. In my house, these come in here. So I don't know if anybody else in pen turning, but I've actually been pretty profitable and sold really well for me at the show. So if anybody else is doing pens, it's all the little pieces left over, just we're banging and allowing to finish them off. But they go like hotcakes, kids love them, and really get some attention. Shows.
Gets rid of the scrap, right?
Yeah.
Menards, it's actually.
They look like little neodymium magnets.
Yeah. So the sites that I get, you can get them on Amazon too, but it's been hit or miss on it. It'll say it's one thing, but then it's thinner. They don't.
What do you sell those for?
$5 a piece.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But they, I mean, I've done. I got $100 a shell. I got it.
I've been burning $1 million. I got a bunch of little redwood scraps at home right now. I don't know what I'll make out of that.
Yeah.
Scrap to the bank.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Corey Anderson from Warrensburg. I brought in a collection to go along. Brad, some spurtles, and these are just, most of them are salted maple. And a spurtle, as I read about them online, the top handle of them is supposed to be representative of the Scottish thistle, which is the national flower of Scotland. And some of them I kind of put a little bit of a flare and rounded bottom on, and others I just brought straight down. And I like using this bottom because it's a little bit better for stirring up and keeping stuff from sticking in the pan. So these are just some spurtles that I brought along. Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Nice to believe.
I'm Jim Roach, Decatur. I've been invited again, Scott, and my wood journey is very novel for two people into it. You guys are doing a really good job. But I made this several years ago. Ice cream scoop for my wife, and an oak. And we were down in Branson, Missouri a whole bunch of years ago and seen this rolling pin. What this is when you roll your dough out for biscuits, they're always come out the same.
I like the little roll.
Second, it's got a nice ring to them. A bunch of years ago, a mom bought a very cheap, crappy miniature grandfather clock that had the pocket watch hanging on the outside of it. Well, I started making them, kept improving them. And this is still one of the earlier versions. What I do now is I turn the basics down on the lathe. Hey, I did it on this one. So I forgot. Sometimes I do carving down here. There's 26 pieces of wood in this. And the back slides down, pocket watch is in there. Neat little turning chair. And my phenol is broke. And then again, several years ago, I forget where I saw it. I think it was in a magazine on these columns. It shows you how to make them and says if you should start out with just 2 of them coming up. And then it says if you feel gutsy, do it with 3. All the ones I've made have always got 4. And what you do after you turn your stock around, you draw a horizontal line to your quarter. Then like every 2 inches, you draw lines going around it. And then you draw lines going from one corner to the other corner, and that gets you your spiral. Then you drill those spirals out, and you put it back in the lathe, and with a file, you start filing these triangular corners down, and some sandpaper on canvas, and just start sanding the heck out of it. That's how you get those spirals.
I bet that takes you a day.
Fifteen minutes worth of time.
Yeah.
Scott Shively, Warrensburg. For the challenge, I brought in one of my measuring cups here. This is kind of where it all started for me, the idea of doing some wood turning, but also the idea of getting a unique piece of wood from perhaps somebody or a special tree and then making something out of it in the kitchen where you use it every day and kind of gives you that great reminder of that tree or that person. And then this is a challenge myself to try not to waste anything. We are always inspired not to waste anything, right? Zero, so I'm trying to do zero waste. And this is just a little, I put my spoon on the stove there so I don't have a bunch to wipe up. It was very thin. There's a little hole there, but the CA glue took care of that. So that was for the challenge. Continuing with round and crown, I'm getting a little more challenging myself to do a little more detailing. Got one of those spiral cutting tools, a little fancy 3-sided tool. You guys got these as well. So a little profile on that one. Almost did a round bottom. Was thinking about it, but then I just went ahead and did that. Kind of get flat. But calabash, I think is the phrase for the round bottom. Beach bowls, and then a ripple bottom. It's called that. My own daughter said she liked that now. I've been saturating my kids for about 2 years now with everything I'm doing, and honestly, since last summer, their eyes just kind of go like this, right? But she picked this up and said, "I like that." So okay, let's make about 10 more, right? Walnut, Mahoney's walnut oil finish, Mahoney's wax, good stuff, and food safe, I think. There it is. That's
Kurt?
You are live.
Lori Laskowski from over in Decatur. Or needs a ticket. Here's my rolling pin for what kind of wood, saved from the firebox at Max and Brenda's. Bill and Brenda's. So that's pretty. Here is Chuck Keating. Viga. I don't know. It's on the bottom. But this was something I bought over at CU. Beautiful grain and very heavy. I mean, I hadn't turned like what I thought was a real heavy wood before, but this stuff turns nice. Yeah, I haven't finished it. It's got to get on the buffing system and all that still, but nice.
Let's say what kind of wood that was again.
Chakiti. Chakiti Viga.
Okay. With the escaping line.
Chakte. It is CHAKTEVIGA. Okay, anybody else? No. Here's my sister. That also, Bill and Brenda. That I just love it. I mean, I can see you, and I mean, I just love this bowl, and it warped a little bit, but I did intentionally keep this side flat. Because I just wanted to keep that. And then I have a question for y'all. This is a little piece of oak that I turned in, well, it's in a bowl, of course. But like I can get it smooth here and here, but here and here, it will not smooth for nothing. What I always do end grain. I've never done
Slack or so.
I don't like it.
Don't either.
But I mean, anything other than, I mean, just give it up on the sanding.
Sanding sealer, sharp tool.
Sanding sealer, shellac.
Tool, I can sharpen it.
Sanding finish you're gonna put on it.
What about sanding it in reverse?
I've done that too. I've done the reverse. I've done sharpened my tool. And now I don't even know if I'll be able to get back on the lathe because it is, of course, was wet, so it has warped a little bit.
I've had similar problems, and I do something that I don't know if anybody else does. I've got some sandpaper that's about 2 grit. I'm serious. This
Okay.
is so aggressive that I can cut that block on. And I'll take it down and then I start coming down from that, but I go all the way down to 400. It takes a long time, but you can get your surface.
Okay. Well, I actually went and bought some, I don't know, drywall. Sandpaper.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, that'd be pretty aggressive. So, although I've never heard of 2 grit, but.
Well, it's not really 2 grit. It's just so
Jeez.
It's so aggressive.
Driveway gravel.
40, okay.
Yes.
I have 50, yes, sir.
If you build, yes. You've seen people that fill it, same grain filler.
They got the square block and they're like,
They make it.
Yeah.
And that was down. And just fill all the grain,
Okay.
dry and then sand it.
Right. Yeah, cause I am usually an end grain turner anyway, and I've never had this issue. I'm like,
Sometimes, you know,
what?
sometimes the rougher paper here, I have a hard time. You just gotta practice. It won't work. But sealant with some.
Well, it's a gift for someone that's got a hole in the bottom too. That's, oh, you're just gonna sit on the desk for flips, no? So, that's all mine. You win, this was supposed to be mine.
Raining down.
What's that?
But this one wins, was mine.
I brought myself. Isn't that enough?
Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Rose from St. Joseph, Illinois. My kitchen item is a spurtle sycamore. It's got a Danish oil and beeswax finish on it. Pretty good. I like my spurtles to be flat, pretty much flat on the bottom. I feel like that gets to the edge of the pan real good if you're stirring some gravies or roux or something. It works pretty good. Then my Chantel piece is a double offset. And the way I do that,
Losing your marbles.
been a while since that long time marbles. I make an extra long tenon on it, or I glue some wood on it as a tenon if I don't have a whole lot of wood. And then I drill a hole in a 4x10 piece of wood and glue that tenon in there. And then I can shift it back and forth. I can shift it over to a 1 inch off center for the big hole and 2 1/4 or something for the small hole. And that's the way I've been doing it lately. About where this went out, I made 3 or 4 with this thing, and now the holes are getting pretty wore out. They don't want to hold the screw too good. They get screwed. Super glue. But Diane had a piece I made in 07. It was marked 07. And I remember doing that. I made the hole for the tenon, and then I split the wood. And then I used one of my larger chucks and just 2 of the jaws, and I slid it back and forth in there. And I think I like that, doing it that way better. But that was a one-time thing, so I didn't see that piece of wood anywhere. We heat with wood as well, so prototypes and whatever go in the fire. You kind of see what I had done, shifted it back and forth on the stem, on the base plate. That's all. Oh, that's right. Remember. Oh, yeah.
I've learned from Georgetown. So for the members, Calvin did a bottle opener. So
What was that, Mumbles?
Bottle opener.
Out of? What was it?
No.
You need the microphone.
Anybody know what this is?
This is not sent out.
Huh?
Cookie biscuit cutter.
It's a biscuit cutter. Okay. My brother-in-law sent a picture of it a couple weeks ago to me. He said, "Can you make that?" So,
Looks like a shop.
yeah, well, that was the other picture he wanted too, the shot glass. But so I tried it. I think some of the guys are putting a hole in it. I guess for the air when you do that. So
Won't hold much whiskey.
no.
You have to put your finger over the hole.
Shot, thanks.
For sure.
Favors doing this. Hedge from Ted's collection of wood. There's nothing on it, so it rolls. That's it. Thank you.
Short and sweet. At least we could hear him. Okay, anybody else? No? Okay. Go ahead and go call tickets here for tonight. We'll have after this we'll take a break for a little bit and we'll have raffle tickets out available. And see Crowbar and Mike over there will be giving those out and I'll get them tickets here. Tonight we'll be putting this tool, roughing gouge. Pretty sizable one there. So this will be tonight's tool for the raffle. If anybody's interested in that, see those guys, get some tickets. All right. We'll be getting off the table up here for any of the raffle prizes, for the show and tell prizes here. All right, first number is 650. Come on up.
First time we're flying.
Yeah, pick from the table here.
Pick of the table.
Just any of the ones off the table there. We got sorted woods there. I think that one laying down is a pear or a pecan. That's one I brought in. Tape measure. All right, 641. Terry. That's it. Yeah, spin this around. Here's the table. Cool. I got this thing. I got that part out. 640. All right. 656. Crowbar. We got a lot of wood this year. Also, I'd like to thank everybody for bringing all the wood and all that in. I know I brought a few chunks that I've won here and brought back. I think one of them over there says Dwight Crane on it. So, I think there's a chunk of Bradford chair. I don't know. Is that one there? Or one, oh, it's the one laying down over there. I think that has your name. 642. 642.
I'll give it back.
You don't want to get another chunk of wood? All right. I said, what else we got? Lights. We got some toothpicks.
Light?
I'll take that.
Okay. Here you go, Jerry.
You know what?
It needs batteries.
I got more, but don't work too.
They're nice, they're free.
All right. 646. Corey? That was the Dwight's. It's got Dwight's name on the bottom. I just saw it. 655. Yeah, I've been trying to clean out my shop, and I was like, okay, I'm never gonna get some of this wood, so I'll bring it back here and here and let somebody else go. 655. Oh, we got some toothpicks left and chunks of wood. Yep. The one laying down is pecan.
Locust, maple, maybe. I don't remember what's on.
That should be pecan.
That's well, that's a bad one. I may not win. Go. You got it.
647.
You get 4, 5, 6 bowls out of that.
You can get a lot of pens too.
What did it?
I like to see you do that. Make a big, Mike. I like to see you make a giant pen out of that with your new lathe.
I think it's hunted over. Might be black over. Some kind of locust. It could be a crossbreed. Ornamental locust or something.
648.
Sunburst locust or whatever. What?
648.
Stevie?
I'm not sure what the big guy is. It's
Soft maple.
soft maple.
Yes, you should keep in history related to Mr. Now, that's like, right.
Looks like it's got a kind of.
Action. Well, yes.
All right. We got 2 more left. 645.
And some dental picks.
Get some dental picks and some soft maple.
Pick your teeth, man. Show us how to use them.
I don't think I would do that. Can I leave this here for now?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
That's Steve.
All right. Last one, 652. All right, some dental picks for you.
I actually.
That one's taken already.
Here.
You're on camera now.
Well, did
All right. All right. We'll go ahead and take a break. You'll have tickets over there at the Crowbar and Mike. One question. What's that?
I'll share a suggestion with the new.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, sir. And book that. That's what this all. What's all. Never fall. But I was reading the thing on the website that I all in the learning groups. That I thought it found something to do with that. He took a blank, glued it to the bottom and turned it into a good looking base. When he had a base of mold, he didn't have to throw away. It was but I the old day, one belt on it, it was one.
No, we've been doing this 7-10 thing. That was Bernie Sadek years ago, I guess.
Oh.
But we've been doing it.
In terms of can you take a picture? All
right, anybody watching on the stream, we'll be back in just a little bit. Oh. All right.
Leg is dangerous sticking out. That's right.
What's that?
So that leg is.
Yeah, I shrank it up enough so everybody get by.
I'll do it inside out.
Inside out?
Yeah, I've got enough that I can bring in like 5 stages.
Uh-oh.
Turning.
What did I just do? I bumped something went crazy over here.
What's the answer?
It's still there. Okay. Chuck, what month do you want to do it on? Got June, July, October, November, December.
I think we better do it in November.
November? Okay.
That's also the target. Till Christmas, so it's very big time to do it there.
Yeah, I can read for Christmas. Yeah.
Good.
That's.
Yeah.
Thanks. You're welcome.
I'm friend saying I can.
Yeah, since 2:30 this morning, and I gotta drive to the. If you want to watch it, live stream this out, so it'll be on our website. Okay. Flatland Woodturners. Not outside, but on YouTube now.
What times? I wonder that.